Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good.
Long time no see.
Long time no see indeed. So do you know what we're going to talk about today?
I think we're supposed to talk about relationships.
Dear Ashley and David, welcome to episode 6 of our Student Life podcast. Woo!
You just throw them.
Today, you'll actually be talking about relationships, all kinds of them, familial, romantic, or even just friendship.
Okay.
And to do that, we're actually going to have you play a game of bingo.
Seems related to relationships.
Definitely. Good luck on your games. Your dearest producers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How about we roll first
Yes.
and see what number we get? 69.
69.
Okay.
I think I was like 69.
What we're gonna start off with is friendships. How did you guys meet friends during university? Because I know that like some people find it really hard to make new friends.
I find it extremely hard. Just because I
Really?
think I'm very introverted and I'm always afraid that I'm not going to make the right first impressions, or they're not going to think I'm cool or I'm boring. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Interesting. My first friend that I made in university was over COVID. Basically, we were in the same class together, and we created a study group for people who were on campus or nearby campus so that we could all meet up and study together for biocalculus, which I dropped out of very quickly, by the way. But basically, we met the one day. We made a group with 8 people, and we planned to meet the one day around 1:00 p.m. to go over some of the biocalculus homework because all of us were struggling with it. And it was only me and her that showed up. So then, of course, we got to talking, and as we're doing homework for about 5 hours together, we got to know each other a little bit more and learned that we have stuff in common. And then over time, when I ended up dropping out of that degree, because we were in the same degree together, I dropped out into a new degree. We became roommates, and at that point, our friendship became more than just school colleagues, basically. But yeah, I think that's how I made my first friend.
I do also feel like it's kind of like dating. You really got to meet so many people until that one person hits off and you're, compatible, basically.
Yeah.
Continuing off of the friendship conversation, I know, Ashley, you said that if they're really good friends, then you don't feel like you have to mask around them.
Yeah.
But did you ever feel at any point that you just had to always say yes for everything?
Yeah, I would say in my second and third year, that was when I was really starting to meet a lot more people, and I started building my I would say my inner circle and my outer circle almost. I was just networking basically.
Yeah.
I met probably 20 new people that I would have considered friends in that year.
Oh.
Now, in retrospect, I would consider them acquaintances, not really friends, because we'd go and we'd do activities together and we'd do parties together. And it got to the extent where I was like, if I don't say yes to this invitation, I'm afraid that these people are not going to invite me again. And I actually had some friends who shared that sentiment too, which is a common friend with you, Yuri. And we were talking about it one day about how if you are invited to something, you always feel the need to say yes almost. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. And then because if you'd say no, you're going to disappoint someone, right?
And I don't know, you feel obligated to say yes because they thought of you and were they want you to come, basically.
Exactly.
Right? So saying no is kind of mean and not being grateful that you're invited. But
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
kind of how I felt in that time. But like more recently, I've started to realize that I also have to like protect my own like ability to still have time for myself,
Mhm.
because when I don't do that, I just get burnt out so fast, and I don't want to see people, and I don't have the energy to be around people, and it's just worse.
And I think true friends would understand that
Yeah.
you can say no and it's
Yes.
okay. It's like it's not the end of the
Exactly.
world and you're not gonna ruin any relationship.
And I do think that's kind of how
Mhm.
you realize who your true friends are also, because like those menial relationships, they're not going to stick around for a long time, right?
Mhm.
And so once you realize that, oh, these people are going to be people that are going to keep showing up for me in my life, and I want to keep showing up for them, then that's how you kind of like bridge that, right?
Even if you're not always in contact,
Yeah.
24/7 and not always like sending each other memes, but
Yeah. And that's like, so I think we were talking a little bit about like, I mentioned the inner circle and outer circle or whatever, but for me, like, how do you see your friendship circles?
okay, I see them in inner and outer circles as well, but in different groups of it. Because like there are just some people that I can't say the same jokes to as the
Mhm.
others, and in that like group, there's also different levels of closeness, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I don't really know how to fully describe it, but there are also just some people who I know I can connect with instantly, and there's just this bond that I feel
Yeah.
that once I have that connection, even if they're maybe not so close to me, I will still feel like I'm close with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
hmm
I think like I agree.
Kathy has a number.
Oh my gosh, she has a number.
22.
22.
I don't have
I don't have it.
G54.
Oh, G54.
Nice.
Wait, bingo is like a game of luck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like,
But-
what skills do you need for bingo?
None.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree. For my circles, it's kind of like I see it as like 3 rings. And in the middle, there's people that I talk to like almost daily, or I see like at least like twice a week, right? And they're
Mhm.
people who I'm comfortable sharing like all the close details of like my personal life, my drama, all that other stuff. They're people that I'm comfortable sharing that with, and I do on a regular basis.
Mhm.
And then like the ring around that, which is like my central ring, I suppose, I consider like they're still close friends, but I don't talk to them as often. And I wouldn't consider them like as close as the people in my inner circle.
Yeah.
And then like outer is like acquaintances, I'd say.
And I feel like there are many people that I want to be close with, but when I feel like they don't share that same expectation, or they don't want to open up more than I was hoping that they could,
Yeah.
then that disappoints me, because I'm like, I really thought we had this like bond and this opportunity to get closer, but if they're not willing to do that, then it's kind of hard for me to, initiate and go even further in our relationship.
How do you deal with like the disappointment of being like in that situation? Because I know I've also experienced that
Yeah.
too, where I believe I am closer to someone than they think that we are. And then
Mhm.
you're disappointed when you realize you're like, oh crap, like
Oh,
this
we're-
person doesn't see me as a close friend. They see me like
Yeah.
probably as an acquaintance, or like as a
Mhm.
like friend-ish, you
Mhm.
know?
It feels like a heartbreak, I think, like a mini
Yeah.
heartbreak. And then after some time, I'm like, okay, I just got to move on. Can't really do anything about it. At
It's-
least I know my boundaries
yeah.
and I know where we stand, right?
It's yeah, exactly. And I totally agree. It does feel like a
Mhm.
miniature heartbreak, because
Mhm.
you're like, oh, that's the end of a friendship that I saw as a lot more, but apparently it just wasn't like that.
Mhm.
And sometimes it can be like a shock almost, right?
And at that time, I'm always like, okay, so I'm not going to be able to make any new friends. But after some time, I realize, okay, that's just a hiccup. There's going to be many more opportunities to meet new people.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're not looking for it, that's when that person who's meant for you will come to your life.
Yeah, I agree.
B12.
No.
None. I don't have it.
G53.
No.
B15.
No.
Damn, guys. N34.
Here, N34. I don't know why I said here.
Present.
Also, question, are we going for a line or the full scorecard?
A square. Wait,
Line.
when was like the whole square a thing?
It is a thing. You can go
Really?
for a line and then you get a small prize, and then whole square you get like more than the small
Okay.
prize. But yeah. I was gonna say too, do you have a lot of friends that you call like they're like high school friends or childhood friends that you talk to regularly still, or like at least like are still in touch
Not
with?
regularly, but I do have like a few who I've met in like elementary school
Yeah.
that I would still consider close friends, even though we barely talk. Just because, we're busy, we're
Yeah.
not in the same country, we're busy living our own lives, but I still feel that I have this connection with them that if I do need anything, I could still reach out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like an interesting concept to me because like when I watched movies as a kid, for example, I always saw like people had this childhood friend that they'd always refer to and they were always like super good friends with. But for me, I didn't really like make the friends that I'm like proud to call friends until university.
Okay.
Like, and I guess like what I mean by that is like in high school, most of my life was surrounded by drama, and same with like high school is drama, to be
Yeah.
honest. And because of that, I like friendships around me would like break down or they'd stand their ground, but mine tended to like wither away a little bit. And then like there were several friends that I kept till the end of high school, but as soon as I moved to a new city and I moved to Edmonton to go to university,
It's like, bye.
yeah, exactly. It's like I don't talk to those people anymore. And because I've kind of like they've died out a little bit, I kind of felt sad about that for a really long time. And I felt like, oh, all these people around me must have like friends that they call like childhood friends, right? That they talk to all the time. And for me, I never really like fully had that. But I think part of it was just because like I didn't really like grow into my own until I got to university. And once I started realizing like the type of person that I wanted to be, I was able to more comfortably surround myself with the sort of people that I know will respect my values or share my values, or I can respect their values, right? And being able to do that, I grew closer to people and learned how to like, I guess, navigate friendships in that way.
Yeah,
and be
because
respectful.
I think when you're older, you're able to select the people you want to be around with. Because when you're, in high school, you really have no choice who you're friends with, right?
Like the circle is so small, right? You don't have it's like, oh, there's 1,000 fish in the sea. In high school, there's like 20 fish in the sea.
They're not all good fish. But
yeah.
for me, like the hardest part about relationships with friends specifically is maintaining them. Because I am really, I wouldn't say bad, but I'm just maybe lazy and not as proactive in like keeping connections and reaching out. I feel like I used to, but when I realized like, hey, I'm the only one doing this.
Yeah.
Why am I not getting any messages back? It was kind of demotivating for me, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do my own thing.
I think honestly that's a really important thing to learn though, is to protect like your own peace as well, especially like in that situation where you're like, I'm the only person putting effort in this friendship and I'm the only person who's really trying here. That's one of those things again where you're gonna get disappointed because you want this friendship to continue, but maybe this person is like, I just want this person to be a past friend, and that doesn't mean that you aren't still like friends per se, just maybe you won't be as close as you used to be. And that change and like dynamics is not very often talked about.
Yeah.
Like I know I had certain parents that were like, oh no, I have like childhood friends from like so and so, and they'd always have like so many people that they'd talk about be like getting caught up with or whatnot. And I was always like, oh, I don't have that. Why don't I have that? But we're in such a different day and age, and being able to meet so many people, especially by going to university, your friend circles are going to change, you know?
I don't know. Also, like, recently I realized, like, okay, friends can have other friends too. Because when I was younger, I always thought, like, oh, if I'm friends with you, then that's it.
Yeah.
We're just friends, and that there's no one else besides me, basically.
Yeah.
And I guess that just stems from, like, jealousy and being insecure in myself. But yeah, that's what I noticed too.
Yeah.
There was something I was going to say, but I forgot.
N33.
Okay. I don't have it.
No. 3 numbers.
071.
No.
Oh, I have it.
Go 70. Okay.
All right.
Let's do a mini game actually right
Okay.
now.
Whoa, this is so cool. I can't hear anything.
Can you hear anything?
No. Wait, did you ask if you can hear anything?
Yeah.
Okay, then I can hear. I
Like
can hear something.
You can hear her?
I can hear you.
Is the
Because
music
nothing's
playing?
playing.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Play the music. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can't.
But I can read your lips. I'm a rubber record, baby.
Can you hear me?
Ah.
Jellyfish.
Fish?
Jelly. Jelly.
Latte.
Jellyfish.
Swedish fish.
Jellyfish.
Lord.
Jelly. Fish.
Fish. Fish. Dish.
Jellyfish.
Could you repeat that again?
Jellyfish. Jellyfish. Jellyfish.
Selfish. Selfish?
Jelly. Jellyfish. Jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
David, close your eyes. Close.
Oh.
Okay.
David,
Okay.
We forgot you can't. Oh, he can't hear stuff.
yeah.
Okay. Roller coaster.
Octopus.
Roller coaster.
How many words? Oh, 2 words.
Roller.
Color.
Roller.
Roller. Rollerblades. Oh. Roller.
Coaster.
Roller coaster.
Yeah.
Okay. Just saying Katie's music is really good. Right.
I don't know. Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Astronaut.
Asphalt?
Astronaut.
1 word.
Astro. Not.
Starts with A, right? Ah.
Stro.
Stro. Wait.
Astronaut.
Art wall.
Astronaut.
Can you do it slowly? Ow.
Not.
Can you use it in a sentence? But do thumbs up when you're saying that word.
Astronaut is going to space.
Actually, I can't understand anything. Wait. Animal.
Astronaut.
Wait.
Astronaut.
Clapping.
Do what?
Okay.
That's not.
Diving. No. Jumping. Ballerina. This is hard, guys.
Okay, I think.
Okay, wait. One more try.
Okay.
One more try.
Bowling.
Me. No. Me. I am a person. Okay. I walk into a spaceship and I go up.
Astronaut.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the music stopped for a bit.
Oh my god. Okay, I think David, you get 2 out
Okay,
of 3.
2 words.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Bye.
Bat.
Bye.
Are we started?
No.
Close your eyes.
No. Airplane.
Hermit.
Airplane. Like.
Butterfly.
Airplane. Airplane.
Her.
One word. Airplane.
I keep seeing hermit.
Airplane. Airplane.
Hopeless.
No. Airplane.
Okay, but it flies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an animal?
Mm.
It's a bug.
No. It's an airplane.
Airplane.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. One word.
One word.
Surfing.
Giraffe.
No. Surfing. Surfing. Surfing.
Jeffrey?
No. It's like surfing. Surfing. Surfing.
It's 2 syllables.
Yeah, huh?
And
yeah.
the middle is an F. Okay.
Surfing.
Chauffeur?
No. Sir.
Is it J or sh?
S.
Sh. J.
No.
Sh.
Yeah.
Ch.
Surfing. Surfing. Surfing.
Joe Fi.
Joe. Okay.
I think I'm done. Surfer.
Bing.
Surfing.
Surfing. Yes.
What's yours?
2 words.
2 words.
Shark.
Shark. Attack.
Nice.
Good job.
Amazing. Is that the end?
Yeah. I-25.
No.
O66.
Oh, I have it.
No. Guys, he's 1 off from getting bingo.
Bingo.
And O64.
I have it.
Oh. This game does not require any skill. Well,
Praying.
speed, I guess.
Let's shift the conversation to roommates, because both of you have had roommates. How do you set boundaries or, discuss expectations for certain things? What do you guys think?
Have you ever discussed any expectations?
I have.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like that's so awkward.
It is, but like in my first year of no, it's not my first year. In my second year on
Quit
campus. In my second year, it was my first time living with roommates. And as an activity, as soon as we moved in, basically we had to submit this Google form that said any of the boundaries that we had, like for each other, and any of the expectations that we had and all that other type of stuff, right? So we had to basically sit down around the table, not knowing each other. I knew Thea, at least, like I knew one person there, but the other 2, I had no idea who they were.
Did you initiate that, or is that like
I think
residents?
The residents initiated that. So because residents initiated that, and that was a requirement for us living together, I don't know what the like what would have happened if we had never sent it in. But since it was like the initiative was there, we had to do it. So we sat around the table and we talked about our pet peeves, and we talked about things that were like, okay, well, I'm comfortable doing this. I'm not comfortable taking this responsibility on. And that's kind of how we started that conversation. And after that, it was just like pretty easy to like follow that for the most part. But obviously over time, like people get more comfortable with each other, and then suddenly there's a bit of like conflict when someone does something that someone else really didn't like, and it keeps happening over and over.
Okay.
And that's an uncomfy conversation for sure.
Yeah, I guess there's a level of like comfort that you need to maintain with roommates to be able to have them still respect you.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, for me, I never like set these expectations or had any discussions with my roommates, but we just kind of understood based on, our interactions and how we talk to each other that, okay, I know that this person does that. He may not be so comfy doing this, and I will make sure I react this way when he does that.
Yeah. Did you ever have like an experience where someone really like peeved you though with something that they did?
Yeah, so this one roommate so we weren't allowed to do like run the laundry at night, basically. So like past 9 p.m.
Really?
Yeah, because the laundry room was like next to my room, and I could hear the vibration and like feel my bed literally shaking
That's horrible.
anytime it's running at night.
Oh my gosh.
And this one roommate would run their laundry at night, and I would turn it off and even put a note being, "Hey, I'm sleeping. I don't want my room to vibrate." And then it would stop. And then a few hours later, they would turn it on again. And I knew who this person was, and it just bothered me because like, I'd eat lunch with them in the main, like the common area, cook food at the same time. And I thought we had this like relationship where we both respected each other, but apparently not, because this person was running the laundry at night every time I wanted to sleep.
Even after you leave a note, just like, because you don't want to like have that weird conversation. You're like, hey, this is like what's happening.
It went to the point where I would actually turn off the laundry myself and like text on the group chat, be like, hey, I know you're running the laundry, can you stop? It's like, don't people have any shame of like being rude or disrespectful? But apparently not, so
Yeah. That's crazy.
yeah.
G59.
I have it.
I-27.
No, I haven't. My sugar rush is going down. I need to drink more iced tea.
O-74.
I'm so scared because every time do you say oh, David has one spot open on there, and I'm like,
Right?
yeah.
And the episode ends like,
Okay. Well, you kind of briefly mentioned it, but do you guys have like strategies for how to resolve conflicts and like move on? Because it's not like you can immediately move out and find a new roommate or anything like that.
I feel like you would have a strategy, but for me, it's avoidance. Like, if I know I'm gonna have a conflict with someone, I will just step away and leave with acquaintances and maybe not so close friends, because I'm just not gonna spend my time and effort trying to deal with it. I mean, I will reflect on what I could do to make the situation better, but I won't impose or let them know, which I think is not maybe the best idea, but that just works for me.
So I have confronted roommates a couple times about things that have made me uncomfortable before, and it's always a really uncomfortable conversation going in, but a lot of it boils down to you being respectful of them and not, like I said, playing that blame game. Because as soon as you start being like, hey, you did this, like, I can't believe you would ever do something like this, like, have respect, and like start using words against them.
Like as soon as you
as soon as you start doing that, it turns into a fight. So what I usually go in like is like, hey, this happened, this is how this made me feel, and I'll talk more about my feelings, because that's a better way to kind of get across exactly why I'm talking to this person about this thing, right?
Is that actually how you approach it though? Or like,
it usually is, yes. However, there are also people out there who don't respond kindly to just being approached or confronted at all. And in those situations, I unfortunately also have like gone towards avoidance. And when that happens, I feel like it's not a good environment for anyone.
Yeah, because you're leaving things not talked about, untalked about.
Yeah. And then it hangs in the air and there's a weird tension between you. And then, like I said, like you said, that avoidance, it was like at one point I was living with a roommate where we would avoid each other because we didn't want to like get on each other's nerves or things like that. And now that we're not living together anymore, it's perfectly fine.
B6.
I have it.
Oh, I do too. No.
B9.
I have it.
I also do. Stop.
Too slow.
Actually,
I'm fixing my mic.
Excuses.
B8. All right.
No.
B2.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. So I know that like both of you moved out of your parents' homes when you came to university. How do you manage to like maintain a relationship with your parents, and how often do you communicate?
I guess I'll go first. You've been
Yes.
answering first most of the time. For me, I call my mom pretty much every single day. And I think it's just because like my mom has always been kind of like the person that I call about like any of the troubles that I'm going through, and she's helped me with like a lot of my anxiety with school and things like that. So she's been just like my person, you know. But then after, I also talk to my dad and see him a lot too when he's down in the city, and he's like, honestly, I feel just as comfortable talking to him about things too. It's just that our relationship was always one where we'd only like talk when we really like wanted to. So like I feel like almost a need to call my mom. Whereas like with my dad, I'm like, no, we'll be chill like the next time we see each other anyways.
Yeah, that's a nice dynamic though.
Yeah. So I call him like once a week, I'd say.
Okay.
And then he comes down to the city quite a bit because he works down here half the time. And so I see him pretty much like at least once a month, if not like twice, 3-4 times a month, you know?
That's really nice. So for me, I think it's a bit of a different story.
Yeah.
Because I like to, before I used to call my mom like twice a week.
Oh.
And we'd have like these Zoom calls for maybe 2 hours minimum each time.
Oh, wow.
Until this one time, my mom was like, David, that's way too much for me. I can't anymore. We gotta reduce it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, okay. So, I mean, I still text her every single day.
Yeah.
It's just that Zoom call, like, which is like 2 hours long,
Yeah.
twice a week,
Yeah.
that we did that she couldn't handle anymore. She was like, I'm busy. I have things to do
That's
on
fair.
a Friday night. Like, I can't just spend time talking to you.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was disappointed at first, but then I understood that, like, yeah, my mom has her life and she needs to, live it.
Yeah.
And I can't be holding her back because
Yeah.
I just want a Zoom call with her.
N38.
No.
I-21.
Yeah, I have it.
I-24.
I have it.
Oh, I had it too. Ashley's getting faster.
And one more. B4.
I have it. Okay.
Okay. Is there more?
No, for now, that's it.
It's clear.
Do you guys ever feel homesick during like a specific time of year or anything like that?
I think when I feel most homesick is during the holiday seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially Thanksgiving. Oftentimes, Thanksgiving is like when most of my midterms are due or a bunch of papers are due. So I spend a lot of time working on schoolwork and I don't attend Thanksgiving dinner. For the past 2 years, I have not gone to Thanksgiving dinner.
Wait, we went to a Thanksgiving dinner last year.
But not with my family.
Oh, we went to Friendsgiving.
Yeah, Friendsgiving
we
is a
did.
little different, right? And I don't mind Friendsgiving. I think it's great. It's just that
But
I miss my family because that's like when I would spend
that's
time
fair,
with them,
yeah.
right? And so not being able to see everyone in that way, it's like, oh, I feel like a lot has changed. Like, obviously, I see them every Christmas. But apart from that, it's like pick and choose your holidays. So,
Yep. I feel you because, like, I spent my Christmas alone for the first time maybe 2 years ago. And it made me realize how ungrateful I was back then when I was younger. That I should have, cherished every moment that I had with my family.
yeah.
Because that thing's not going to last. And, you're going to miss that one day. And there might not be an opportunity for that to happen anymore.
Okay. I-19.
I got it.
You're very
I'm
close to
so
winning.
scared right now.
N37.
I got it.
Okay. Yeah, you're really close.
N39.
I got
have
it.
I think Ashley was faster,
Fair enough.
right?
We can both have it.
Oh, yeah, now we have 1 point. That's
No.
okay.
Okay. Let's shift the conversation to the hardship of balancing relationship and university.
Like a romantic
Yeah.
relationship?
Like, how do you make time for your partner if you're really busy with uni? I don't know. You
if
guys
Ashley
can lead
wants to
this
talk
one.
about it,
I
I'm
can
okay.
talk
You can
about
lead
it,
this
yeah.
one.
I'll
like-
give my thoughts and opinions. So,
Yeah. So to be honest, I've never really felt the pressure to be in a relationship because most of the people around me weren't the ones in relationships. I was the one in the relationship. So like, for instance, I was in like a long-term relationship in high school. We were together for about 2.5 years, and then I moved for university, and then it was long distance, right, for another 1.5 years or so. And at that point, I was just like, okay, well, this long distance thing isn't really working out. And I think that's okay. Like, I think we don't really talk about moving to a new city and like how long distance is really, really hard a lot of the time. But we just kind of grew in our own different ways and then like split apart. And so it was like, okay, well, we ended on that note. That's fine.
Yeah.
But then I was like working on myself for a little while and going into my next relationship, the one that I am currently in and have been in for almost a year now. We kind of like, I guess I took it a lot slower than I normally do.
I think you were maybe more like communicative in terms of your expectations and what you wanted out of this relationship, right?
Yeah. And I think part of it too is that like both of us had really busy schedules during this past year. So like, for instance, he's an engineering student and they take 6 courses per semester. So he is super swamped with schoolwork as soon as school starts, right? And we can see each other like max twice a week pretty much. And usually last year, at least in the beginning, it was kind of like we see each other once a week as we're getting to know each other. So I found that kind of hard trying to balance being like, oh, but in my past relationships, I saw these people all the time. It was like I spent almost every day with them. But then this person I can't spend every day with. But I also have time now to like focus on myself and do things that I love and care about.
Yeah, like you're your own person as well.
And I think that realization hit me during this relationship. And I learned how to balance my life with their life and being able to be like, hey, we're going to come together, but we don't have to be reliant on each other all the time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Bingo time.
N36.
Done. You're one number away from winning.
I-17.
I got it.
O68. G58.
I have it.
I also had it.
Okay. O61.
So
I have it.
I-29.
Close.
I-20.
No.
Nope.
N32.
No.
So now we're going to actually shift conversation to talking about relationships with your professors and TAs.
I know you have a lot of relationships with these types of people, but for me, I just never like took the initiative to have a bond with my professor for some reason. Besides my art teacher, except my art teacher that I had in my, I think, first year.
Yeah.
That was the only teacher that I would talk to and have conversations with. But besides that, I don't think I've been able to. Just because I feel like there's this like intellectual difference that I have with my professors. I'm like insecure that I won't be able to relate to them or what I say is not, worth their time.
Yeah.
But I know that's wrong. So what do you think?
With my professors, it's been really easy for me to create relationships. A lot of the time it was just like me going up after class to introduce myself in the first day of class, but over time it's just turned into a conversation of being like, oh, hey, in the hallways. Like there's one professor that I have a pretty good relationship with that I'm just going to talk about in general. I have a few professors that I could talk about, but this one sticks out to me because it's kind of funny. I am a procrastinator. I always hand in my papers like right at the deadline or like within 5 minutes of the deadline. And there was one day I handed it in, 30 minutes before the deadline. And this professor that I had handed in my paper to saw me in the hallway the next day. He's like, oh, Ashley, I'm so proud of you. Congrats. You handed in your paper 30 minutes before the deadline and like fully called me out. And I was
Okay.
just like, oh my goodness.
That's sweet.
It was the funniest thing. And then after he just like started calling me out more often in class too. So I'm like, oh, I feel embarrassed, but also like the fun type of embarrassed where like, oh, this is like, you're joking with me.
Yeah.
The way like, it's like, we're like not on the same level necessarily, but you broke that tension of like, oh, you're my professor and I have to respect you in that sense. Obviously I'm going to respect him.
She doesn't respect her professors anymore.
Obviously I'm going to respect him, but it's just that it changed the dynamic of our friendship
Yeah,
and
you're,
relationship.
like, more
And now it feels like
comfy.
I could like potentially talk to him after I'm done school too.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
See, I know it's like scary to go up to professors, and I am also like someone who doesn't just like to go up to professors, but I think it's like so important to get noticed, especially in those huge classes, because it's very likely that they just don't know you. And if you want to work with a professor and you want to help them with like research or to help, you know, with a lab or anything like that, it's important to take that first step and be like, just introduce yourself, just so they can keep an eye out for you.
Yeah, I wish I knew that like during university, because it was only after that I realized the importance of, you know, making connections and networking.
Yeah. I think like during university, at least in like the very beginning when I did approach that first professor at the end of class, I was just like, they motivated me through the rest of my degree. They were like, oh, Ashley, I think you should try this. And they'd push me in like new directions to try new things. Like I did a certificate of archaeology, and I only ever like got into that because I had a professor that was like, hey, maybe you might like this. Maybe you'd be interested in this. Let's check it out. And I got into honors because I had a professor that approached me and was like, hey, I know you get really good grades in this class and you do really well. And I see that you're getting good grades in your other classes. Would you be interested in doing this? And I was like, yeah, that sounds really cool. And it was an opportunity to research, right? Even like the job I have right now, I got because I approached a professor and I said, hi.
It's amazing. Yeah.
And then they approached me later after I expressed my interest in working with some of the things that we were doing for our field school.
G52.
I have it.
No. 075.
No.
072.
I have it.
N45.
Oh,
You're closer to winning than I am.
I know.
B10. 073. B7.
I have it.
No, now you're just as close as me though. Oh, but you could also run with like the diagonal.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
N43.
Oh, that's so close.
G49.
Oh God.
N44.
I have it and I got bingo.
Yay.
Congrats.
Any last remarks? Ashley, you win, obviously.
Yeah.
But any last points?
From Ashley?
No, just in general.
Relationships are tricky.
Do what feels right.
That's it.
Okay, no sign off.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining us today. See you guys next time.
Hope you enjoyed this episode about relationships.
Bye, everyone. See
Bye.
you.
Okay.